Radio Telefís Éireann, you're watching RTÉ One, where it's time now to join Anne Casson in the newsroom.
Good evening. Two reports have failed to come up with any evidence that the Minister for Transport, Seamus Brennan, did not pay a £5,000 bill for brandy and cigars. Earlier, RTÉ said it found no such evidence that would substantiate the claim made in last week's Sunday Independent newspaper. The Department of Transport, which also investigated the allegation, has reported that no evidence was found of any goods ordered or delivered to the Minister or on his behalf.
Last weekend's Sunday Independent claimed that in the 90s a government minister had failed to pay a £5,000 bill due to RTÉ for drink and cigars. It quickly emerged that the politician at the centre of these allegations was current Transport Minister Seamus Brennan, who said he'd no recollection of the affair. Mr Brennan instituted a departmental inquiry into the claims, and independently RTÉ launched their own probe. Last night, tensions emerged between the department and the semi-state over the pace of the RTÉ inquiry, with the Secretary of the Department of Transport writing to them to demand their report by this evening. At tea time, RTÉ boss Noel Hanlon said their inquiry was almost complete and had not seen any evidence to substantiate the allegations. He said the investigation would be finished early next week, and that position was not expected to change. This prompted the Department of Transport to publish its report tonight. It comes to a similar conclusion, the Secretary-General finding no evidence that any goods were ordered or delivered by or on behalf of the Minister.
Well, an allegation was made. There's no evidence of the allegation. As far as I'm concerned, it never happened, and the exoneration is in the report.
The RTÉ report will be published next week, but officials at Seamus Brennan's department don't expect it to add anything to what's already known. They'd wanted answers before the weekend, and they hope that the curtain will now be coming down on the affair and on what one official involved described as a dirty week. David Davenport, RTE News at the Department of Transport.
A 29-year-old Dublin man has been found guilty of murdering his ex-girlfriend and seriously injuring her mother. Declan Burke was found guilty of murdering Jennifer Wilkinson at her home in Ballyboden in Dublin and of stabbing her mother, Mrs Mary Wilkinson.
The jury at the Central Criminal Court heard how Declan Burke from South Circular Road in Dublin had waited 5 hours for his ex-girlfriend, 24-year-old Jennifer Wilkinson, to arrive home on the day he killed her. He forced his way into the house carrying a knife and inflicted injuries on Jennifer Wilkinson, which caused her death. He left her mother Mary with a serious chest wound. During the trial, Burke claimed that years of sexual abuse by his father left him unable to control his anger. He asked for a verdict of either manslaughter or guilty but insane, but the jury accepted the prosecution's case that he was bad, not mad. Mr Justice White imposed the mandatory life sentence, but added that he personally regretted that his hands were tied on the issue of sentencing. Aoife Kavanagh, RTE News.
Gardaí, investigating the murder of a 34-year-old father of two in Limerick, believe he may have been targeted by a drugs gang in the city. Brian Fitzgerald was head of security at a city centre nightclub. He was shot dead outside his home at Mill Road in Corbally early this morning. It's understood two men were involved in the attack. Witnesses said they heard a number of shots. The Fine Gael councillor and former TD Liam Cosgrave has launched a scathing attack on the Flood Tribunal's procedures and on lobbyist Frank Dunlop. Through his lawyers, he challenged Mr Dunlop to make his allegations of bribery outside the tribunal to allow him to sue for defamation.
Angry and disgusted was Councillor Liam Cosgrave's reaction to Frank Dunlop's allegations that he took money to support rezoning motions in the 1990s. In an unexpected move, the Fine Gael councillor asked to address the tribunal in person after the completion of the opening statement. His request was denied, but his legal representative was allowed to read a two-page statement. In it, he said he once regarded Frank Dunlop as a gentleman and a friend. Now he believed him to be greedy, dishonest and a corrupting influence. A pressman and PR guru with an appetite for sound bites, he challenged him to make his allegations outside the tribunal and without the benefit of legal privilege so he could sue him for defamation. He said Frank Dunlop had compromised his own credibility by trousering £175,000 in 1991 and hiding it in an offshore bank account. The tribunal's procedures were also criticised. Councillor Cosgrave said he had been unfairly denied access to all of Frank Dunlop's financial records. All he had was an A4 sheet claiming he had taken money for corrupt purposes. He denies these claims. He said he had never lived or aspired to an extravagant lifestyle. Now he said his reputation had been irreparably damaged and his family had been through hell because the media had swallowed all of Frank Dunlop's claims hook, line and sinker. Vivian Traynor, RTÉ News at the Flood Tribunal.
A textile factory in Castlecomer, County Kilkenny has closed with a loss of 160 jobs. Workers at Comer International were already on short time since the summer. The company has blamed the closure on increased manufacturing costs and a fall-off in product demand. Meanwhile, the future of the company's plant at Bunbeg in County Donegal remains in doubt, pending the outcome of further negotiations. The Minister for Agriculture, Joe Walsh, has given an assurance that Irish beef, both at home and abroad, is safe to eat. Mr Walsh was commenting on confirmation by his department that a 45-month-old bull was found to have BSE.
All right, okay.
Senior Department of Agriculture officials this afternoon said that the County Limerick animal infected with BSE was a Montbéliard bull, a rare breed in Ireland. It's the first time the disease was found in such a young animal since animal feed controls were tightened in 1996. The farm, which had the BSE outbreaks, also had a big poultry enterprise. While the department say it has an open mind on how the infection was caused, one of the theories being examined was that the bull could have eaten rations, which had been contaminated by poultry feed, which had previously been stored in a silo. The Department of Agriculture described the Limerick outbreak as a disappointment, though not a cause for alarm. And defending the effectiveness of the BSE controls, they say the Limerick bull never got anywhere near a meat factory. Farm groups also stressed how well the controls against BSE are working, but the Food Safety Authority say the case shows that the ban on feeding meat and bone meal was not complete. It may be weeks or even months before the cause of the Limerick outbreak is known. Joe O'Brien, RTÉ News.
The GAA in Cork has been plunged into crisis after the county's entire senior hurling panel said they were going on strike. Negotiations between the 30 players and the Cork GAA board have broken down.
The last time the Cork hurlers lined up in front of the cameras, they were about to take on Galway in pursuit of All-Ireland glory. Today the players faced the cameras again, this time to declare they were going on strike.
I mean that no player will make himself available for playing with Cork for the foreseeable future until the matters that have been raised have been addressed in a reasonable manner.
Following their defeat in the All-Ireland Championship, for months Cork hurling has been in crisis off the field. The players dissatisfied with their playing and training conditions. 2 meetings with county board officials failed to reach agreement. Negotiations broke down. The county board says it can't comment. The players say they had no alternative.
Every player feels the same way. Every player feels aggrieved and let down by. So that's why we're here basically.
The GAA has even more serious issues to contend with than the obvious embarrassment of this dispute. In virtually every county, the organisation is facing calls for better treatment of inter-county players, and any concessions made here will have wider ramifications. It's therefore going to be extremely difficult to find a resolution to this dispute. Pascal Sheehy, RTÉ News, Cork.
And that's Friday's Late Extra from all of us here. Take care and enjoy the weekend.
When you need a number in a hurry, call Aircom 11811.
Hello again and welcome to your late night weather forecast here on RTÉ One. And after a fairly pleasant day today, I'm afraid the weather looks very unsettled for the weekend, with some further spells of heavy rain and quite stormy conditions in store through the second half of Sunday. Our weather continuing to be dominated by systems moving in from the Atlantic. After a pleasant day today, cloud is pushing in there from the west, and this massive cloud is approaching, and it looks like giving fairly widespread rain during the night. But it will clear off tomorrow morning, and it looks like like we're in for another fine spell tomorrow afternoon. Most areas will turn dry with sunny spells, but only for the afternoon, as then it looks like more wet and very windy weather will sweep in from the Atlantic. So looking at those winds now in a little bit more detail, and they are freshening at the moment from a southerly direction, increasing up to force 7 in sea areas tonight. Easing off then for Saturday afternoon and back into a westerly direction, but this easing in the winds only temporary, as it looks like gales will be developing during Saturday night again, and those gales increasing up to storm force on Sunday, particularly later on in the day, where some very severe gusts are likely overland, perhaps with some damaging gusts possible. Some weather details, and at the moment we still have a touch of frost in some eastern and northeastern areas, but this will clear as that cloud, which has been steadily pushing in from the west through the course of the evening, continues to push eastwards, bringing with it some outbreaks of rain. So the frost clearing fairly shortly now as that rain continues to extend eastwards. Now it does mean a fairly cloudy start to Saturday with some further outbreaks of rain, but then it will clear up in the west early in the morning, and that clearance will be right across the country by around midday tomorrow. So we can all look forward to some fine weather tomorrow afternoon, some good sunny spells, temperatures of 10 to 12 degrees Celsius in those moderate westerly breezes. So all in all, quite pleasant weather through Saturday afternoon, but make the best of it, as it looks like more wet and windy weather will be sweeping in from the Atlantic later on in the day. Certainly a risk of some flooding in places on Saturday night, and some very heavy squally showers mixed in with some brighter sunny spells on Sunday, but becoming extremely windy as the day progresses. So all in all, some quite serious weather on the way for the weekend. So do take care and good night.
Call Aircom 11811 for any number you need.
Chemistry, the branch of science that investigates how substances interact with each other. Such knowledge is truly a blessing. It has brought us enormous benefits. For so many people, science has greatly improved the quality of their lives. Yet, there is a downside. Science has also been used to create weapons and methods of the most appalling destruction. One remembers the Nazi concentration camps. Lord, may the great gift of science be used for the benefit of humanity. Protect us from those with evil intentions.
Now on One, Mel Gibson and Michelle Pfeiffer star in a tale of divided loyalty on Tequila Sunrise.
Right Price Tiles' massive half-price sale is extended to Sunday. All bathroom wall tiles, one price, only $7.99 per square yard. Right Price Tiles, nationwide.
Good party last night?
Yeah, it must have been. I have just got a text from an angel I met.
What's he say?
Man
a few vows, you lucky devil. We'll put him down a minute. You need Bev's Recovery Special. Toasted bagel, lashings of cool, creamy Philadelphia, topped off with wicked bacon.
Oh, you are a saint.
You gonna text him back then?
Oh, no. I never have text on a first date.
The very best of the Wolf Tones live. Byrne, Nagel and Warfield are back. And for the first time in 15 years, they're available on video with a double DVD, CD and cassette. The very best of the Wolf Tones live. Available from Chicago and all good record stores now.
You dream of a car that is almost too attractive. rebuild your car. The new Opel Astra Enjoy. With all this as standard. Opel. Fresh thinking, better cars.
Anna, hi.
Hi, Michael.
He's seen you naked, he's bought you kinky underwear. He knows your secrets, he's seen you bleach your facial hair. He squeezed your spots called a snowball bomb. He's licked your belly button with his tongue.
Nightmare situation? Sure, is clinically proven to combat even emotional sweat.
Thank God you dumped him first.
Take a close look at this pain-beating formula. New paracetamol tablets from the makers of Disprin. Fast-track pain relief.
Got your attention. Pierce Brosnan. Die another day.
For competitive home and motor insurance, ask your broker. Allianz, the power on your side.
I want to be happy, but I won't be happy till I make you happy too. I want to be happy, but I won't be happy till I make you happy.
Clinique Happy, and happy for men. Need a release. Airwaves. Breathe free.
At Argos right now, there's 25% off all Christmas trees, lights and decorations. Argos, brighter gifts, brighter Christmas.